The world is on edge tonight. June 22nd, 2025. A line has been crossed in the Middle East. The United States has launched targeted airstrikes against Iran's nuclear facilities, shaking the globe. Explosions in Iran echo in the halls of power from Washington to Beijing, raising a single terrifying question. Is this the start of World War III? Global markets plunge, emergency UN sessions are called, international stability is unraveling. The Pentagon calls the operation defensive, aimed at stopping an imminent threat. Tehran calls it a blatant act of war, vowing a crushing response. The language is absolute, leaving little room for de-escalation. Airline routes are redrawn, oil prices soar, and families with loved ones in the military wait anxiously. This is no longer a distant dispute, it's a personal crisis for millions. The world's most powerful military has struck a major regional power, directly, openly. The coming hours will determine if this escalates into a regional catastrophe or a global conflict. The world holds its breath, waiting for the next move in this deadly game. Operation Desert Sun began before dawn. B-2 stealth bombers and Tomahawk missiles struck Iran's nuclear sites with precision. Natanz and Fordow, deep underground, were hit with bunker-busting munitions. Arak and centrifuge plants were also targeted. The US claims the goal was surgical, to dismantle Iran's ability to produce weapons-grade nuclear material, avoiding civilian casualties. Iranian media shows damage and claims innocent lives lost. The president, in a somber address, called the strike a last resort to prevent Iran from acquiring a nuclear weapon. "We acted to protect American lives and global stability," he said. In Tehran, fury and defiance. Ayatollah Khamenei calls it a grave mistake, promising a historic response. The Revolutionary Guard is on high alert. Rhetoric escalates on both sides, pushing the world closer to the brink. Why now? US intelligence claimed Iran was weeks from a bomb, with uranium enrichment accelerating and IEA access denied. The White House called this a critical tipping point. Key allies like the UK and Israel were briefed and voiced support, but France and Germany were left out, now expressing deep concern. Iran denies the US claims, insisting its nuclear program is peaceful, and blaming Washington's withdrawal from the nuclear deal for the crisis. Both sides present irreconcilable narratives. Domestically, the US president faces pressure from Congress and a looming election, but the administration insists the decision was based on security, not politics. The gamble, a decisive strike to solve the problem, or ignite an uncontrollable fire. The world braces for Iran's retaliation. US forces across the Middle East are within range of Iranian missiles and drones. Direct attacks could trigger massive US counterstrikes, locking both nations into a devastating cycle. Iran's proxy network, Hezbollah, the Houthis, militias in Iraq and Syria, are on high alert, ready to strike US and allied targets. The region could ignite on multiple fronts. Russia and China condemn the US strike, calling for emergency UN action and blaming Washington for the crisis. The world's great powers are dividing a US-led bloc versus a Russia-China-Iran axis. NATO is fractured, the UK supports the US, but others are horrified. Turkey is caught in the middle. The Western alliance faces its greatest test. If a US base is attacked, could all of Europe be drawn into war? As dawn breaks, the world faces profound uncertainty. The path to de-escalation is narrow. Diplomacy seems distant, mistrust runs deep. The human cost is mounting, felt by civilians in Iran, military families, and people across the region. The global economy reels as fuel prices rise and food prices rise. Will Iran's response be measured, or will it unleash its full capabilities? Will the US retaliate again? Will Russia and China escalate their support? The answers will shape our world for decades. The era of proxy wars may be over, replaced by direct conflict between major powers. The international order faces its greatest test. Where does this end? And what can be done to stop it before it's too late?